For as long as I can remember, I watched Adult Swim. Even though the programming block was designated to adults, I would secretly go downstairs to the living room and watch whatever show I wanted, with the volume turned down, of course. Growing up, I did not want my parents to know I was viewing adult-oriented animation. Some of my favorites were Space Ghost Coast to Coast Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Robot Chicken. I attribute those shows to my sense of humor. As I got older, my life took a swerve. I started feeling down even over small things. There was a constant dark cloud that loomed over my head that threatened to burst at any time. Activities I used to indulge in I slowly lost interest in. Just thinking was taxing on my mental health. I began feeling guilty for whatever reason, like I did something wrong every day and apologized constantly. It wasn't until my parents read my alarming letter that they took me to see a doctor. I was diagnosed with clinical depression and was recommended therapy. I was prescribed antidepressants to deal with my mood, and some of my activities had to change. I continued to watch Adult Swim, but because of my severe depression, I didn't feel much joy in watching my favorite shows anymore. I thought it was a hopeless endeavor until I was introduced to a new show. That show was Smiling Friends. The idea of there being a charitable company that specialized in making people smile was interesting to me. Its unique animation style reminded me of shows like Courage the Cowardly Dog and Gumball, and it was genuinely funny. The pilot episode, Desmond's Big Day Out, really spoke to me. In it, Pim and Charlie are tasked with helping an extremely depressed man named Desmond find joy and happiness. Desmond reminded me of myself and how my mind was filled with constant thoughts of self-harm and how all I could see was darkness in front of me. It was a true delight to see that he found his purpose in life with being a bloodthirsty exterminator. From there, I kept up with the series until its recent third season. I never anticipated that there was more to the episode. While browsing the internet, I discovered a website that claimed to have full videos of Adult Swim shows, including some never-before-seen material. While I was initially hesitant to click the link, the idea I could be receiving new content without subscribing felt enticing. So I entered the website, cautious of the potential viruses that could infect my computer, and saw many Adult Swim programs on the front page. Everything ranging from The Boondocks, Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, and others. My eyes sighted the box containing 3 episodes of Smiling Friends, and I pressed enter. All the episodes from season 1 and 2 were present, and I took a quick glance at the thumbnail images. My eyes widened in surprise when I saw the thumbnail for Desmond's Big Day Out. It was of Pim and Charlie at a funeral and wearing black tuxedos. I scratched my head. That was funny. I had seen the pilot episode several times and I never recalled that scene. I shrugged, chalking the image up as being made by someone talented, and pushed the button to start the episode. To start with, the episode had a bleaker tone, unlike the more outrageously zany one that most people credit to the show. Mr. Boss sends for Pim and Charlie, telling them that a concerned mother was wanting them to help her son. They arrive, and from there, the episode mostly followed as memory serves, aside from brief glimpses of Desmond's life that showed he was a successful man who had a loving wife and kids. He had a well-paying job until the day he was let go. His marriage deteriorated, his wife abandoned him in the fallout, and his grown children moved away. He also admitted to self-harm, which further freaked the 2 Smiling Friends out. After Desmond explained what brought him to this state, Charlie pulls Pim aside and tells him in a blunt way that they should cut their losses. Like before, they try their best to make Desmond smile, but there is no luck. In a new change to the episode, we actually got longer scenes with Desmond. The three got to visit Desmond's ex-wife, her now living in a three-story home with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was a large muscular man that she clung to. Pim, being the happy-go-lucky critter he was, tried convincing Desmond's ex-wife to give him another chance. But that only led to his ex spitefully spitting on the ground in disgust and the boyfriend threatening to beat the three if they did not leave. They never visited his children, but they had their own lives to live and held a great disdain for Desmond. They made a pit stop to visit his deceased dog, and he explained in raw detail how his canine companion died. It met another dog that it fell in love with, and all went well until the day the dog was struck by a truck. Desmond's dog couldn't live without its partner and succumbed to a broken heart, leaving its owner alone. They stood in front of a huge, slick rock, not saying anything for what seemed like an eternity. Pim attempted to apologize for the screw-ups, but he closed his mouth. However, the biggest change to the episode was with Desmond. Desmond himself felt different. Initially, while he was extremely depressed in the original episode, it came with the caveat that everything surrounding it was played for dark laughs. Here, Desmond seemed more pained, more forlorn, with the Smiling Friends' attempts at trying to make him feel better after failing to make amends with his ex-wife and kids, like attending a party. To make matters worse, Charlie and Pim unintentionally gave Desmond more reasons to be sad. During one scene in the episode, Pim notices a baby bird that had fallen out of a tree and scoops it up, climbs a tree, and places it back into its nest. Unfortunately, just as he was getting down, a falcon swoops in and snatches the baby bird, leaving specks of blood and feathers behind. It only reinforced for Desmond how life was an uncaring force as he seemed to reach the climax of his depression. Eventually, when they got to Dave Land, Pim asks him how he is feeling, leading to this discussion. Desmond: "Sure, I can have as much as I want. I can make new friends, all the stuff you said. That doesn't change the fact that there's this darkness that is festering inside of me. It doesn't matter because the sun will explode one day. I can try to live my life any way I want, but everything is for nothing. We are born, we live a few good years, and then we die. We are cosmic lambs to the slaughter." Pim: "That may be true, but there are things in life that are worth living. If you give me and Charlie more time, I am sure you'll have a beautiful smile at the end of the day." Desmond: "I have done nothing but waste your time. I feel even worse now. Your friend was right. I am a lost cause." His self-hatred sent a chill down my spine. I have felt nothing but worthlessness my entire life, and while this may be a fan-made video, it still struck a chord with me. I choked back on crying as I heard Desmond cock his revolver. Charlie and Pim insist for him to put the gun down, but a huge bang filled the air. It cut to the two critters' horrified reactions with people screaming and an ambulance blaring in the background. Once that happened, I completely lost it. Not so much because a cartoon character just killed themselves, but it reminded me that I could have very well ended up like poor Desmond. My shoulders trembled as I tried calming down. The next scene segued to the funeral. Charlie and Pim were there, alongside Mr. Boss, Gleb, and Ellen. As the coffin was lowered into the ground, Pim, the usually cheerful optimist, was absolutely devastated. Charlie rubbed his shoulder in a reassuring motion. Charlie, it's not your fault, man. Pim, oh Charlie, why do bad things have to happen? Why would he do this? I just don't understand. Charlie, life is sometimes like that. Bad things happen for no real reason, and it seems that there's no one out there who cares. But you shouldn't be too hard on yourself for that. You can live for Desmond. Pim, thank you, Charlie. Charlie, sure thing, brother. With that, the episode ended. For a fan-made bootleg, it was rather good. Charlie's speech at the end was what I remembered the most, making me realize that there is some light at the end of the tunnel. Since then, I became an even bigger fan of the series, which in some ways saved my life. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, because there are more chilling tales to be told. Also check out my other social media profiles. The links for those are down in the description. Thanks for listening.